Today we're going to talk about the female reproductive system, and we're going to focus on the external parts of the female reproductive system. So in this image, we're going to focus on some of the external structures. The external female genitalia is also called the vulva, and it includes the mons pubis up here at the top. This is a fatty area that's covered with pubic hair. There's also the labia majora and labia minora. These are skin folds which protect the area known as the vestibule. So the labia majora, this is a large skin fold. The labia minora is a small skin fold. And then the vestibule is this part here. So I've highlighted those in yellow. All right. The vestibule contains several structures. It includes the clitoris. So the clitoris is right here. Like the male penis, this can swell when it's sexually stimulated. There is also the urethral opening. So here's the urethral opening. This is purely for urine in female anatomy. And then there's the vaginal opening. So the vaginal opening is down here at the bottom. Also, there's the vestibular glands. So on the sides here, you have the vestibular glands. These lubricate the vagina during intercourse. So I've highlighted these in yellow on this slide. All right, so now let's talk about how eggs develop. Oogenesis is like spermatogenesis, except that in spermatogenesis, sperm are created. In oogenesis, eggs are created. And oogenesis is going to begin with stem cells. These are called oogonia. Now, before birth, the oogonia divide and develop into what are called primary oocytes. And these are housed in follicles. At puberty, hormones stimulate a small number of follicles to mature and make the first meiotic division. And this division is unequal. This part is different than spermatogenesis. The division is unequal, and a large secondary oocyte and a tiny polar body are produced. The polar body, along with its chromosomes, degenerates. So one follicle, so here you have the developing follicles. One follicle will release the secondary oocyte, which is down here. The secondary oocyte. One follicle will release the secondary oocyte, and when it does that, that process is called ovulation. If the secondary oocyte is fertilized, the second meiotic division will occur. And this produces another polar body and reduces the female chromosome number to 23. The male and female nuclei join to form a zygote with 46 chromosomes. And after ovulation, the follicle degenerates into the corpus luteum. So that's what you're seeing here, the degeneration of the corpus luteum. All right, so this slide shows you the process that I just described. So you start with an oogonium. That would be one cell. This is before birth. And you're going to then have a primary oocyte. So this is what you're starting with at the beginning of oogenesis. And when this cell divides in meiosis, you're going to have a polar body, which ends up dying. That's the small cell here. And you're going to have a secondary oocyte. That's the large one. That's going to continue to develop. So in meiosis 2, that's going to divide. Again, you get a polar body that dies, and here you're going to get a zygote when it is fertilized by a sperm. As far as follicle development goes, you are going to have the follicle's going to grow, mature, and ovulation is going to occur, and then it will degenerate into the corpus luteum. Okay, so to sum up, the vaginal opening and urethra are found within the vestibule of the female genitalia. Within the ovaries, hormones cause the maturation of follicles and the eventual release of a secondary oocyte during ovulation.